I'm Paul Duchene, this is Rob Sass of Sports Car Market magazine, and we're at the Silver Auction March 31st in Portland, Oregon, and we are now looking at a 1975 Porsche 911. And Rob is much more familiar with these cars than I am, so he can take the first pass at it. I've got some things that I can tell, but so Rob's way ahead of me here. So,
well, this is a great example of how not to buy a Porsche 911. If you can get a close-up of this, this is my wallet actually quivering as we walk by this car. It's sitting here just waiting to swallow up a lot of your hard-earned dollars. First of all, this is a 75, and this is probably one of the worst years of the 911 that Porsche ever made. There were issues with the emission controls, making a lot of heat, and the cylinder head studs actually pulling out of the engine with these cars. They are notorious, the 2.7-liter 911s, as being nothing but trouble. This car, in looking at the engine compartment, it looks like it's had no attention there. So right off the bat, that's one issue that this car is just getting ready to bite you. What I can see, the car at least exhibits good symmetry because it's been smacked on both sides in almost the same place, right? There's a crease on the door and the front fender in the same place, and rust in the bottom of the corner, the door skin on both sides.
So what we're looking at is a driver that's got a lot of miles and a lot of use.
A driver if you've got a lot of guts. Actually, we're looking, I think, at an imminent donation to the Kidney Foundation in this car.
But there's some nice points, though. The headlights, yes. Now those are very cool and hard to find, aren't they?
They are. Very cool, very hard to find. Those are European Hella H4 headlights. And used, you could probably expect to pay about $325 just for the headlights.
Wow.
And it does have a shiny, brand new Porsche hood badge.
Well, that's nice, too. However, the interior has been redone at some point, hasn't it? In something that looks like Herculon?
I'm trying to avert my eyes from that, but yeah, I think you're right. It's been redone in some kind of a 1970s tweedy fabric that is completely wrong. I mean, these cars, I think you can get them with cloth, but most often in the U.S. they were seen with leather seats.
Now, is this definitely a U.S. spec car?
Yeah, it's definitely a U.S. spec car. If you go on the back, you can look at the bumper guards, the big rubber bumper pads back here. If this was a European car, these would be about half the size, so you can fit a European plate there. So this is definitely a U.S. delivery car.
Now, it's an S, so technically that's a more desirable twist at this point, isn't it? Or is that just more expensive stuff to fix?
Yes and no. It's not really any more expensive to fix, but by 1975, with the emission controls on these cars, the S really didn't mean the same thing that it meant in 72 or 73. I think these cars in S form came with about 160 horsepower versus about 148 for the base cars. So not among the fastest 911s ever made, but certainly among the most troublesome.
Well, you scared me to death. When do you stop bidding on this car?
Oh, somewhere around the $5,000 range.
It's going to go that far?
Maybe, maybe not. When would I stop bidding on this car?
Well, yeah.
I would stop bidding on, well,
you wouldn't start.
I would start, exactly.
Okay. In that case, I think that summarizes the whole situation. Thank you.